Fresh start. All right. Fresh start. Maybe we should call ourselves the Febreze Brothers because it's feeling so fresh right now. Right? Let's do another fresh start because I just want to punch you in the face. Fresh start. It's the last one.
Take 9. Here we are again. Someone seems to have gotten the frickin' booze like a raccoon on trash night.
Jim, I don't thank you enough for your hard work and your diligence and your professionalism and the way that you just, I couldn't have done any of this without you, and it's going to pain me that I have to sell my shop and move on to greener pastures, and I just can't say enough how you have helped me to take that next step, to look into that mirror and to say, look out world, because here I come, and grab that bull by the horns and reach new heights.
How's this? No? What's the best author pose? Maybe something like this? No. I no longer have my shop. I sold that sucker, along with my house, and now I'm living in parts unknown. But got a great bit of information to share with you. First, let's make a drink. Be right back. Here we go. I've never been able to make a really good drink, but this will work. Grease the old skids. Today's video, let's just make it informative. About 5 years ago, I started a project that I knew would be difficult to finish on my own. I bothered a lot of people with it. I harassed a lot of people with it. I asked a bunch of questions. Probably was just generally more annoying than I normally am. But still, I knew that I wouldn't finish it if I didn't ask for help. And I knew I wouldn't finish it if I didn't feel responsible for it. That project was a book about my family and about my life, and it's a story that I haven't really shared with a lot of people. Several people know my story, but it's not one that's fun to talk about. It's sad, it's hurtful, it's sorrowful on many levels. So it would be easy for me, facing those things, to put it down, and no one would be the wiser if I didn't finish it. And they might not care if I didn't finish it. But I carried it for more than 40 years. And it is the book. I think I may have mentioned that. You may have seen some previous posts where I mentioned a book. You may have seen some Facebook posts or heard me talk, or maybe not, but I'm here to say that it is done, and on July 6th it will be published. So it's kind of exciting. At the same time, it's kind of scary, and it's kind of wrapped up with a little bit of dread, because it's a hard story, and it was hard on a lot of people. But back to that point, I needed help finishing it, so I thought the best way I could be held accountable was to crowdfund the book for several points, maybe 3 points. I knew if people invested in it, I would feel a lot of responsibility to fulfill that product. I really don't like owing people anything. And the other reason was, at the time, book production was a mystery to me, and probably somewhat difficult. It was, it was just before that horizon of, easy self-publishing. So I thought, I need a publisher. So I found a publishing company. It's called InkShares, and they crowdfund books, or allow you to, or offer a platform to. So the challenge with that is I had to get so many pre-orders. And a lot of you who pre-ordered maybe didn't know what the hell a pre-order was. But so yeah, I've had your money. Well, I haven't had your money. InkShares has had your money for 5 years while I have wrung myself out writing this book. But owing you, and several that probably don't watch these videos, I had to fulfill what I owed you. And there was a substantial challenge, probably a quarter of the way through the book. I lost my mother, who was the memory of a lot of the stuff that happened. Right around the time I was wrapping up the first chapter, she passed away. And if you read the book, you'll understand why I did not remember a lot of things. The people that had these memories and experienced these things, they're gone. There's maybe a handful of people that really know what happened. And even out of those people, some, they have the memories, but those memories are hard to get to. I explain it a little bit in the book about the challenge of recovering memories. But those of you that have been through hard times, if you're there, you're experiencing things you wish you never did, and you're experiencing things that you want to forget. You don't want to see them. And the mind has a wonderful mechanism for self-preservation. And it lets you bury and hide and submerge all kinds of horrible things. And the challenge of that when you're young is you don't have any idea how not facing those things will affect you. Well, I buried a lot of things from the time I was, 10, 9 or 10 until, I was, 30. And it eats you up. Some of you that know me, you see me as a nut roll. I like to have fun. I love to have fun, and I like to be the idiot in the room because I like to laugh. I lived a long life of things that weren't happy, so by God, I gravitated towards anything that was the exact opposite of that. But anyway, I'll try to wrap this up. The book's done, the story's done, and it's a relief that I don't really have to tell the story anymore. It's no longer just something in me. It's your story now. It's not mine anymore. I don't want it. But yeah. So the book publishes on the 6th of July. That means it'll be available for orders, but you can actually order it right now. But you probably won't receive it until, a few weeks after the 6th. Horrible with math. Give me a graph and I'm great. But what is that? 2 weeks after the 6th, 6 plus 14, I think that's 52. Somewhere around there. But those of you that have pre-ordered, you should be receiving your books in like 2 weeks, sometime on or before the 6th. But since I'm on the inside, I've got something to show you. It came in the mail today, courtesy of the UPS man, and it is a box of my books. So my wife, Rayanne, already got into that box. I was going to do an unboxing thing. I think that's popular on YouTube. Maybe it's not. Some people like that kind of stuff. It's like Christmas for everyone. But, so yeah, we'll do that. And I'll get my buddy Jim here to rearrange the camera. Some of you don't know Jim. Good friend. He's in and out from Ireland. He's the cameraman. He tends to drink all of the liquor before we start these things. And he's not great with the camera. We'll see how this turns out. He tends to want the spotlight maybe more than I do. Maybe. Anyway, be back in a minute. Okay. Here is the box. And as you can see, it's been opened, so just pretend it's Christmas. Okay, here we go. I will admit I've looked at these already, but I thought it would be neat for some of you to see what I'm seeing. Look at that. Got a whole slew of them in there. So here it is. Feels odd, actually, seeing this. Had a mat cover done. It feels kind of grippy. Shouldn't fall out of your hands. On your way to the beach to read a Dark Memoir. This is significant. I did the cover, I did the back, and I wrote it as well. Never had an ISBN before. I wrote 9 chapters. Mrs. Hershberger would be so proud. Maybe. Another point why I crowdfunded this is I did not like going to school, and I did not pay attention in school. And I grew up in Martinsville and Anderson and LaPel, and I picked up a very, very odd way of talking. And I never went for grammar and, figuring out what an adjective was or a noun. Just, cursory I could figure it out, but I talked backwards. I used double speak. So I knew I would need a lot of help. And all of you that pre-ordered helped fund fixing the way I talk, the way I write. But I'm so glad this is done. I don't have to mess with it anymore. There's my book. It's all done. And in a couple weeks, those of you that supported it will have it in your hands. And after that, if you want to ask me questions, feel free to do so. You can check out my website. It's down here. It'll take you to my email and my other pages and whatnot. I'll probably do a signing or a reading or whatever you want to call it. I've contacted Books and Brews. There's several around Indiana. I think I'll probably hit the Noblesville one. I've already talked to them. And we'll see how it goes. But I'll keep you posted. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can. I'm not on there much. If you want to, I don't do Instagram anymore. But I will do YouTube. So if you want to leave, comments below the video, feel free to do so. I try to answer all of them. But here it is, and I just want to thank all of you for your support. You guys are awesome. Thank you.